Well, good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of Cvent and PATA, welcome and thank you so much for joining us. In APAC, MICE is no longer a side business, it's a strategic revenue pillar. Group and events, business fills need periods, anchor longer stay, corporate travel, and showcases your destination. But today, success isn't just about rate, date, or space. The real currency is trust, reliability, and partnerships with planners. And with that in mind, let's meet the voices who will bring this to life today. Presenting myself, Naina Vishnoi. I'm the Hospitality Cloud Leader across Asia Pacific at Cvent. And alongside of myself, we have our very well respected and well known Mr. Noor Hamid, the CEO of PATA, and Ms. Kritsanee from Stream Events. And now I would like to invite Ms. Noor Hamid for a quick keynote.
Thank you, Naina, and greetings from the PATA head office here in Bangkok, and a very warm welcome to all of you joining us today. I'm definitely very delighted to have all of you here, especially at this event organized by our event tech partner, the Cvent, which I'm sure that many of you already know Cvent, which is a leading name in the MICE sector, and also the global expert in event and hospitality technology. Just to take away from what Naina has mentioned earlier on, this session I think is very important, especially timely as we all are navigating through this extraordinary period. Currently, we are in this big mess of these geopolitical uncertainties, and also for all of us in the MICE business or even the travel and tourism business, there's a huge shifting in the market dynamics. All these pressures to me are real, and business must continue as usual. And in many cases, that means pivoting towards regional and safer markets until the situation stabilizes are very, very crucial for all of us in the industry. And at the same time, in particular for MICE, planners have been asked to do more with less, working with tighter resources or budget, and yet the client are expecting us to deliver high impact and value-driven experiences. So this is one of the challenges that the people in the MICE trade industry are experiencing now. And I think also in this environment, success really can't happen in silos anymore. I think Naina has mentioned that earlier on. It really depends on a strong strategic collaboration between venues, planners, sponsors, destinations, event owners, and also the wider community. And that really brings us to today's focus of our conversation, that the partnership between hoteliers and event planners is one of the most important, if not the most critical success and factors in the MICE. And because of today's market in particular, I'm sure that all of you would agree with me that speed is always everything. For example, when an RFP comes in, clients expect responses almost instantaneously. The response must be accurate, detailed, with even a full range of options. And if you can't deliver just that, then the client will move on. And that's why seamless coordination and strong partnerships are very important more than ever. So I hope that today's session would be able to give you some practical insights, perhaps even some few secret recipes from Naina and also Chris later on. And of course, I hope that they will be able also to take some questions from all of you. I've been involved in MICE for about a decade now, and now with PATA as a travel and tourism site. But I think still MICE is part of the larger section of travel and tourism. So I'm more than happy to take any question at the end. But more than that, I'm so pleased to welcome our speakers, Naina, who is the Senior Regional Director, Sales Director at Cvent, and Chris, a good friend of and also a member of PATA, who is the founder and Managing Director of Stream Event Asia. And I hope in the next 1 hour, they will share with you the insights from two unique perspectives. One is from a technology company and one from event delivery perspective. So for that, I would like to also take this opportunity to extend our sincere appreciation to Cvent team for their continued commitment to knowledge and sharing and collaboration with Pata. And of course, thank you, Kun Chris, for spending our time today, especially that you just came back from Singapore last night. And to all of you joining us in this webinar, thank you for the time that you're spending today with us. I'm sure it will be very fruitful. With that, I wish you a productive and insightful session. Thank you, and back to you, Naina.
That aligned so well with our agenda today. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective, and you totally said few things just spot on, which we will also cover through Cvent trends. So here's a sneak peek into the agenda today. We'll start off with the introduction, followed by introduction on Cvent, followed by market and planner sourcing trends, which I feel are very important for all the hoteliers to know what's changing in the APAC MICE demand today. Then focusing on what planners value and how hotels can actually stand out. And then we will have from Kun Chris our DMC perspective on hotel planner partnerships. And towards the end, we'll open the floor for any questions for all three of us. All right, let's get started then. Well, of course, a lot of you who have joined us today are already familiar with Cvent's business. We are partners and we are working together. But just for anyone who doesn't know, Cvent is at the heart of the events ecosystem, fostering a powerful network effect by connecting hospitality professionals with event professionals. Our comprehensive solutions empower event planners with tools for event marketing and management, covering everything from logistics to on site solutions. On the hospitality side, we offer supplier and venue solutions that help hotels and destinations in managing their MICE and corporate business travel. And the scale of that ecosystem is actually massive. In 2024 alone, the platform powered 3.1 million RFPs and 17.7 billion in business sourced through the hospitality cloud. As the world's largest event and hospitality technology company, Cvent streamlines processes, enhances collaboration, and delivers impactful experiences for event planners, marketers, hoteliers, CVB administrators, and travel professionals globally. Now, for the next few minutes, I want to zoom out and look at what actually is changing in MICE demand. We'll start with the market and planner sourcing trends we are seeing across APAC, how much in person volume planners expect, what kind of meetings they are prioritizing, and how the sourcing behavior is evolving. Then we'll translate that into what it means for you as a hotelier, where the biggest pockets of the opportunity sit, and where you might be leaving the RFPs. So let's begin by grounding ourselves in the current sourcing RFP volume and patterns that, of course, you're seeing in your inbox as well. Now, on this slide, you can see that overall demand in APAC is moving in the right direction. We had 10,000 plus unique RFPs sourced to APAC, up about 8.5% year over year. Those translated into over 1.5 million room nights, growing at roughly 11.6%. Most importantly, the RFP value coming into the region crossed 681 million, which is a jump of just over 30%. Now, you're not just seeing more inquiries, you're also seeing bigger and higher value opportunities. On the right, though, notice that the number of unique planner organizations sourcing into APAC is slightly down, and new planner organizations are also down a bit. That tells us the growth is coming from planners who are actively already sourcing in the region, sending more and higher value business. And for hoteliers, the implication is clear. There is more MICE demand on the table, but it's increasingly concentrated with planners you already know and working with. The opportunity is to deepen those relationships and make sure you're capturing a greater share of the RFPs they're sending into APAC. On this slide, you can see how APAC stacks up against the rest of the world on RFP growth. The Americas are only slightly up, Europe, UK, MEA are stronger, but Asia at around 9.6%, and with Australia in the mix, is a positive growth. So you're sitting in a market where demand is rising faster than many others, which is a big opportunity, but it also means more competition for that business. That's why how you partner with planners and show up in sourcing really matters. This slide shows that most of the new activity is actually sitting inside organizations that are already sourcing with us. On the left, about 54% planner organizations in the data are new, but 46% are repeat organizations. On the right, you can see that when you look at individual planners, only 33% are brand new people, while 67% are new contacts inside those existing repeated organizations. What that tells us, the growth in APAC isn't just about totally new logos discovering your hotel. It's new planners, new teams inside those accounts you already know. So, from a partnership perspective, the biggest opportunity is to go deeper, not just wider. Now that you have seen the data, one thing is clear. There is significant number of planners sourcing consistently across APAC. The demand is there, but the real question is, are you making the most of it? When that next RFP lands in your inbox, are you looking at it as a single piece of business to win or lose, or as an opportunity to strengthen a relationship that can pay off over multiple events and multiple years? Too often, we treat each RFP in isolation, respond, negotiate, and just move on. The hotels that are winning in this environment are the ones that use every interaction to build trust, understand planner pressures, and position themselves as a long-time partners, not just venues. In the next section, we'll flip the lens and look at this from a planner's side. What do they really expect from hotel partners today? And what specific behaviors and responses make them come back to you again and again, not just for the next RFP, but for the next five? We've seen that planners are actively sourcing across APAC. The next question is, what actually matters to them when they choose a hotel, and how can you stand out as a hotelier? In this section, we will again use planner sourcing report for APAC to unpack what planners say they value the most today, and then translate it into actions hotels can take. From how you respond to RFPs to how you present your spaces and build long term relationships. So let's start with the top trends we are seeing in the data. Let's start with the volume story. According to the Global Cvent Planner Sourcing Report 2026 for APAC, 76% of planners expect to hold more in person events and offsite meetings in 2026 compared to 2025. Only 16% expect volumes to stay the same, and just 7% expect a decrease. So, for most of you in the room, this isn't a flat or a shrinking market. It's growing pipeline of in-person demand. The real question is the real question is less, will there be enough events? And more, how do we position our hotels to capture a big share of that growth? Now let's take a look at what planners are actually optimizing for. First, globally, we see planners are dialing back pure growth expectations. Many still expect increases, but fewer are forecasting big spikes versus last year. Instead, the success story has shifted to engagement and satisfaction. Are attendees actively involved, and are stakeholders seeing real value from every event? From an APAC lens, that means the extra meetings you saw in the volume slide, you have to work harder for it. Better content, better networking, and clearer business outcomes. Second, this is all happening while staffing and service pressures are still very real at both venues and planner organizations. That's why the report calls out strong vendor and venue partnerships as essential. Planners are gravitating towards hotels that feel like an extension of their team, partners who communicate clearly, help absorb operational load, and protect the attendees' experiences. So, as we go into the next few data slides, please keep that in mind that it's no longer just a rate, date, and space. It's engagement plus partnership that really differentiates you. On this slide, we are looking at how APAC planners are using technology and how you can meet them there. Most planners in the region are already sourcing through online venue marketplaces and RFP tools, and many are starting to use AI to build requests, compare bids, analyze attendee data, etc. They expect quick, clear responses that they can line up side by side. For hotels, the opportunity is to show up well inside those tools. So, when your online profile is complete, room specs, meeting space details, current photos, and a floor plans, you make it just easy for the planners to quickly qualify you. When you respond through the RFP platform using templates, smart assistants, you can hit that 4 day window with tailored, well structured proposals, not just rate, date, and space. And once you're on the short list, interactive flow planning and diagramming tools let you co design the event with the planner in a single live layout that reduces the back and forth, absorbs some of the resource pressure on that side, and proves you're a tech savvy partner, not just a place to put a room block. Everything we have discussed so far gets you into the consideration set. This is what decide who actually wins. First, many APAC planners are using formal scorecards and defined sourcing processes. They're plugging your answers into a structured evaluation. So, partners who fill in every field clearly make a comparison straightforward that fits best into that world. Second, they're asking very specifically for more transparency and customized responses. One of the biggest pain points in APAC is still comparing proposals and understanding what's really included. And trust me, this is a real pain point. If you're clear about assumptions, fees, and trade offs, instead of hiding them in the fine print, you stand out immediately as a better partner. And finally, when specs and pricing look similar, the tiebreakers are reputation and relationships. They trump everything. Planners lean towards hotels where they know the team, trust the service, and feel confident that what's on the RFP will actually happen on the site. That's where all the partnership behaviors you've built really pays off. Now, I would also like to invite Chris from Stream Events Asia to share her perspective on how partnerships are more important than ever.
Thank you, Naina. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Kritsanee. You can call me Chris. I am the founder and managing director of Stream Event Asia. Next slide, please. Okay, I am the local DMC in Thailand. We provide one-stop shop service for meeting and incentive. And our main market is from Australia, New Zealand, Europe, that is Germany, UK, and also America is one of our key market. And the rest is from the Asia Pacific, mostly from the corporate clients from Singapore. That is what our core services and what we are working with closely with all the hotels to win the bid and work closely, and how that very important for both of us to join hand and to win the business. Next, please. So the DMC perspective with the hoteliers. Okay, in the past, we work really closely together, join hand in hand, and how we gonna pitch for the business. And now we are in the during the challenge time again with the wars that are happening with the economic and also the social for all over the world. So now we have a very strong competition and strong competitive. If we not work together, you will work, the hotel work on your way, and the DMC it also not have a partner. So that's quite difficult to get the business that confirm. I can share you like today I meet with one of the major clients for the corporate from the long haul. So during the site inspection in Thailand, and suddenly the project is freezing and not move forward. That is because of the war in the Middle East. But however, they still want to work closely with hotel and also the planner like a DMC and the planner for the audio visual and everything to win the pitch and also to present to their management of how and also the safety of the trip if they will continue to do that project. So we would like to share that the DMC and the planner, we are not your competitor. We want to work with you for all the hotels once we get the RFP, because all those RFP, when we receive, we always say share that to the hotel. Sometimes the hotel receive that direct, and those RFP is just not that with us and then not shared to the hotels, because they also ask for the pro and con about the hotel, about the location, about the services. That's why we're not working hand in hand together in create the program, create the logistic, and also the activities, and selling the destination, selling the hotel, and selling the DMC and the planner at the same time, and pitching for business to win, so that we have a strong position to get it. DMC is, we got the what is the client expectation. You are the hotel, you have the capabilities and also the facility, and we need the local identity, the local authentic, real local experience. So now you need information just not only inside the hotel, the activities, facility around the hotel that you need to know and also incorporate into the plan when pitching. They expect a very fast response and flexibility that is very important, especially in this time of the situation. The creative solution and risk management, that is something that we have to share during the send the outside of the proposal. The faster response, that is some of the hotels that we are working from the past, and many of them have the very standard format. Just add in the cost, the per room per night. They are not tailor-made to match with their requirement. So that is a weak point of the hotel, that you will not win the bid. Or even you send it to the DMC or the planner, we also cannot continue working properly because we don't receive the information that we need. So if we are focusing from your side, from my side, and then we create and come up with a very competitive package and competitive price and competitive and meaningful of the program, we will win. That is why we will strongly saying that we should work closely together. As long as we have the early collaboration, ensure that the success will success in the program, because many programs that we work closely with the hotel from the beginning in every particular area, for the facility at the hotel, the venue, the meeting space, and also the restaurant. Once we receive all those information from you and the hotel and the DMC, who are expertise and professional in terms of the logistic, the services, the program, and also the local touch with the local community now, you will see more and more of the clients for the corporate meeting. They were looking for something that will make the program is meaningful and memorable. That is about the collaboration that we and the hotel planners and the DMC had to be working together from the beginning to win the bid. Next, please. So the collaboration with the hotels, I will say that we are not your competitor, because some of the hotel may think that, okay, you want to go direct to the clients because you believe and you're confident that you will get the business. But it is not that 100% is true, because at the end, the clients will come to us in the way that, okay, is this hotel good? If its location is convenient to do activities, to travel, the accessibility, and the most important, they're going to ask the DMC and the planner about the operation, the quality of the operation and the events team. So that if we work together from the beginning together, so then we will share the perspective of the clients, the expectation of the clients, and what should we do together to make them feel confident to work with you, the hotel, and we work with the DMC like us or Stream in Asia. So then the faster proposal and the itinerary that you are very creative, that is will win. So the proposal from the hotel sometimes is very not detailed, but some hotel yes, some hotel not. That's why we want to share that okay, this is important to make the program and the theme or service is successful. We have to share goal and the satisfaction of the clients together. Sometimes we share with you, okay, they are not happy with the hotel, with the room, but they're happy with the other services. The meeting room is great, but the room is not that look excellent. So these are some of the information that planner and the DMC can sharing with you. So that as you will know your weak point in some area, but we can pull that together and win the pitch, win the clients together. The clear communication and coordination. So sometimes, okay, as I mentioned from the beginning, some of the hotel, we have a lot of hotels, especially in Thailand. They also want to survive. They may think, okay, if with the DMC, we may not support or cannot make you get the business confirmed, but it's not. But it's not that true. We should co-create the experience together because many events that I work with a hotel and plan together from the beginning, I can see that most of them, more than 90%, that we are success if they think about Thailand as a destination or any destination, because we are not only competing among within your country, you're competing among other destinations. At the same time, in your destination, you will competing with another many hotels in in your area. So that is what is your unique selling point. What you can do it better than the others. Sometimes the facility is not that good, but you have a very strong operation team that it will help you. But sometimes they will work with you because of the team, because your team is very strong. That can make it happen and successful. That's why we want to make a trust and the long-term partnership with the clients, with the planner, and with the DMC, so that we will make it very okay successful together. Next, everyone knows that AI is very important. The AI is become like a your support, your secretary, and your staff can do it faster in terms of the proposal and the itinerary. You just fill in the information, key in, ask them to come up with the theming, with the decoration, with the program, create in a very nice way. However, you have to do and review that it rely and lead to the facility and the service that you have. However, the personalization and the data insight of the clients that is put in properly and come up very clear and meet with the expectation. The support marketing and the creativity, this is something that we need the human touch and still essential. At the end, I will tell that our business for the MICE business is a people business. Even the AI will help you, that will is a powerful, but experience a human connection remain the different and will make you advance to the other if you more connected and with a human touch and talk. So nowadays, when the AI and innovation is more impact into our business, you can call anyone without any cost. You can discuss, you can talk from what you have sent it out or what the proposal that create via the AI or the itinerary that we are design. Next, sustainability. So everyone will heard about the sustainability for a long time. The sustainability in MICE, this is enhance the corporate image. In the past, no one put the focus and see that this is important. But now the sustainability is no longer optional, it's expected. I believe that all of you receive the RFP and they are very clearly mentioned that you have to have a very strong sustainable policy in the hotels that what they have, what you have and what you are planned, like a food prevention or the carbon footprint for the meeting, environment, the social diversity, inclusion, or the governance. So those are all the increasing client demand about the sustainability. So I will share you as from DMC part. Whatever I receive for the RFP, they're asking for the strong policy of the DMC that we what the policy that we are doing for sustainability. We are lucky because we working a lot with the communities and we support the community a lot in any way, even social education and the environment. Those are things that will make you more strong when you are competing or pitching for the business, because now the big organization, the big corporate, like a pharmaceutical company, financial company, car company, they will select to use, become their policy as well, to work with the hotels that they have a very strong policy for sustainability. They will choose the eco-friendly partner, that is for sure. Be- Now everyone having that the sustainability program, but everyone had to have a different. So who has a very strong sustainability policy? That is a key tool for sales. That I will say that the support local community, that is very easy outside door of the hotels. If you work closely with all the people around there and the community around there for support the local, some food, some activities. So that is support you in terms of the sustainability, reduce the waste and also the carbon footprint. So now I think most of the hotel already know how to calculate the carbon footprint and how to uh, have the sustainable program increase into your program, especially for incentive and meeting. Once you set up for the meeting and all those material you can reuse, recycle, or uh, what you have planned with those materials. So then collaboration, innovation, responsibility is make you have a meaningful and memorable experience when you are working and pitching. But the most important, the partnership is I always have to mention that how important of the working, joining hand in hand and pitching for the business. So the lastly, I would like to say that together we don't just organize the events, but we create the meaningful, responsible, and memorable experience. That is the most important. As long as we start together, partnership from the beginning, I will say we will win the pitch for corporate meeting and incentive together. So then we win-win together. That is what we would like to share with everyone today. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. I think some of the pointers that you mentioned, I just couldn't agree with it anymore. Like, beautifully said. Few of the things that when hotels are selling the hotel, they have to sell the destination, have
Yeah.
to work in partnership with DMC, because if there are big citywide events, obviously one hotel can do their best, but the experience that DMCs bring into picture will be a great advantage. So I think overall, we at Cvent resonate with everything that you have said, and of course, sustainability has been a huge focus for past years. And in fact, Cvent, like we ourselves, are very conscious of it. When we do our own events, we have to ensure that we are following all the sustainable practices, being the largest meetings and events company. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for
Yeah.
great pointers I
Yeah.
think
And also,
everybody.
may
Yeah,
I add a little bit
sure,
of
sure.
whenever the hotel send out the presentation, the proposal to the clients, please mention that, okay, what is the sustainable policy of the
Yeah.
hotel? Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's a great point, and I think some hotels are doing a fantastic job at it, and I've heard great stories from
Mm-hmm.
some hotels in Thailand. But yes, more even it goes same for the Cvent RFPs that we respond to. If hotels add that upfront,
Yeah.
planners have a lot more confidence in choosing your hotel versus the other. So thank you so much for that perspective. Really appreciate that. Now for everyone else, thank you so much for listening in so far. Now, this one for key takeaways, let's wrap up this section with all what it means for you. First, demand is not the problem in APAC. Planners expect more in person events and offsite meetings, but they're just under pressure to prove that every single one delivers engagement and real business value. Second, when proposals look broadly similar, partnerships becomes a differentiator. We have already addressed that, and a lot of pointers raised by Chris as well. Planners lean towards venues that are reliable, transparent, and easy to work with. The hotels that feel like an extension of their own team rather than just another supplier. And third, most of that partnership now plays out through technology. Online sourcing platforms, AI supported RFPs, and shared flow plans or diagrams where both sides are working off the same view of the event. So the hotels that win in this environment do a few simple things they consistently. So first, they keep their digital profiles and visuals up to date. They respond quickly and completely through the RFP tools planners are using today, and they use interactive layouts to actually co-design the event. That combination signals very clearly that we are here as your partner, not just a quote you are a rate. And like Chris mentioned previously, human connection is our greatest strength. Technology, including AI, exists to support that, not to replace it. And for that, we have a quick video that I'd like to share with you later after the slide. So, one of the trends I highlighted was on AI. It's not a buzzword anymore. And I hope that with all we are sharing from our different fields and experiences, we are able to make you believe that AI impacts every part of your business. For marketing, it means better targeting. For sales, faster responses, smarter proposals. Operations, it means automation, consistency, revenue, dynamic pricing, forecasting, guest experience, personalization. Across all of these, AI acts as a connective tissue, learning from every interaction to create an adaptive, intelligent organization that serves guests more personally, efficiently, and empathetically. At Cvent, we're not just talking about AI, we are championing it ourselves. Cvent IQ is where Cvent turns AI from a research buzzword into real scale innovation, using intelligence to help the hospitality ecosystem unlock smarter decisions and higher impact events. From venue discovery to conversion to 3D event visualization, we're mastering AI everywhere in every part of the business.
Every great event begins long before the guests arrive. But behind the scenes, teams face endless manual work, time lost that could be spent with clients. Now, imagine every RFP automatically captured, qualified, and routed to the right team in seconds. Availability check, space fits, and pricing strategies, all handled intelligently in real time. No back and forth, no bottlenecks, just speed, precision, and clarity. RFPs are answered automatically, with smart custom proposals built in minutes. Predictive analytics anticipate demand before it's even requested. Generative AI turns attendee and historical data into insights, recommending layouts, packages, and pricing strategies that resonate. Event diagramming and floor plans are automatically created and shared. Every detail, from function space to flow, is mapped out seamlessly. Rooming lists and room block management are automated, ensuring accuracy, speed and less admin for your team. All of it backed by data privacy, predictive insights and agentic AI orchestrating workflows, so your team stays ahead, always. Because AI doesn't replace hospitality. It gives hoteliers the time to do what they do best, focus on their clients.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope that video also, focuses on the message that we have been giving today. AI definitely removes friction. Clients get speed and relevance. Teams get time to be proactive. This is not about replacing people; it's about elevating them. AI transforms sourcing, operations, marketing, and strategy. Data and content are the foundation. Collaboration across buyers and suppliers is a key. The future is already unfolding. Let's lead it. And with that, I would like to open the floor to the audience for any questions for any of us.
All right, I think that was a great session and a lot of value that has been added in terms of Hotelier Planner partnership. And we already have a few questions coming in. The first one is for you, Chris. So, given the communication advancements of the past decade and tech such as Cvent, which now enables clients to engage directly with hotels, what role does DMC play in hotel bookings today? More specifically, what unique value does DMC bring to the hotel?
Okay, so thank you. Yes, for the DMC now, we will see that, okay, the majority of the clients will contact the hotels direct, even from the Cvent format. However, those that we not feel that, okay, we have to come and competing with the hotel part, we're always happy for the clients to deal direct with the hotels. But the things that we can help you, that is we can work together with you and the clients in between to build the trust and to communicate and to make it faster. And the communication between the hotels sometimes may be slow, that they will not get it back, that sometimes the DMC and the planner will be the middleman to helping the clients and the hotel. So it is something that we can bring into the hotels, and also some of the activities and the uniqueness of the program that we can work together once the hotel until they trust and confident in the hotel. So then come into the theming, the services that we can work closely by using some hotel services or bring in that we can help you to increase the revenue. That I would say that I don't know the others, but myself as the DMC for myself in the business for 30 years and Cvent Asia for 15 years now. So then you see that we always support the hotel to get the business. And once you get the business, then we are working together, sit down, what we can work together to increase the revenue for both sides, for the hotel and also for the DMC. That's what we normally do. So that's why we have to start from the beginning, talking, communicate closely, how to win. So once we do that together, I think we will win for the business, like a win-win together. The hotel win and also the DMC win. That I will say that.
Thank you so much, Chris, for that POV. And with that, we have the next question for Noor. Given the current geopolitical uncertainty, market unpredictability, and rising fuel costs, which are inevitably increasing transportation expenses, from Pata's regional perspective, do you anticipate end users placing great pressures on hotels?
Can you repeat the question, please? Can you repeat the question?
Yes, sorry, I was on mute. Given the current geopolitical uncertainty, Noor, market unpredictability, and rising fuel costs, which are inevitably increasing transportation expenses. From Pata's regional perspective, do you anticipate end users placing greater pressure on hotels?
Well, this is a very good and important question, especially that we are in this right in the crisis at the moment. Without doubt, we can see the rising costs, operation from flights, increase of hotel rates potentially, and many other aspects as well. Obviously, this will impact events. And I think at the moment is still a bit too early to say, but from my own observation in terms of some of the events happening around Asia in particular, there is a small number of challenges, even to the impact of cancellation for people coming from affected areas, especially West Asia, Middle East, and even those coming from Europe through the hubs of the Middle East. This is understandable. But beyond that, I think there is also a strong increase in interest of participation from the regional and also the sub-regional area within Asia or within the Pacific. Very much like I can share with you our own event, Pataino Summit, coming in October, in May, in Korea. We are seeing the increase of registration, especially from the Asia and Pacific region. We have not seen any cancellation because I think a lot of people have booked in advance. But I think those that book a bit later, that will be a bit of a challenge. It's all very much depending on how the situation will continue to develop in the Middle East, whether it will prolong or get worsen. If it get worsen, I think everybody will be impacted. So I think that one is no doubt. But I think we as an association, we believe that meeting in person is very important for our members to engage. And I think events are being continued. Just like if we just go a bit out our scope, just a couple of days ago, BTS had their coming back concert in Korea. I was reading the news to say that 250,000 people went to Korea. So that's a huge number. So I think that depending on the type of event, depending on the market, and also the where they are coming from, I think to some level it is impacted. And we need to pivot ourselves, like I said in my opening speech. We need to start looking for new markets that can have access to our event.
Thanks, Noor, for that POV. And with that, we have next question for Nana. So, as a platform that connects planners with venues, does Cvent take a destination first approach by promoting the location itself before the individual hotels? Or is the focus primarily on showcasing specific venues?
This is a fantastic question. So, first and foremost, I think there is in the current dynamics and in how we are implementing AI into our overall search process, the situation now will be different than before. When we want to suggest or I don't think suggest is the right word because our platform is self-serving and it's unbiased, so it completely depends on what keywords planners are using. Accordingly, the search results would be there. But yes, for planners, for example, APAC specifically, if they're not aware of the destinations or the upcoming destinations, we feel as an organization that is so big in this event planning space, it's a responsibility to make them aware of what all APAC has to offer in also tier 3 and tier 2 market, along with the destinations that they are already familiar with. So as an organization, we put a lot of focus in our investments to drive that traffic to the markets, to our destination pages where planners can get more information about destinations. Because think about it, some of the events would come to you as a hotel only when your destination is able to win it. So tying it back to the pointers we had in today's presentation, that selling your destination is as important as selling your hotel. Now, in the AI world, obviously, this would mean this can change, because now, if with just typing in 4 keywords, a planner can get a list of hotels, we are also aligning our search algorithm and trying to find ways that at what all areas of the search process we can promote destinations alongside. So, in short, if I have to answer this, we take a very balanced approach. We have initiatives in place where we promote the destinations, and one of the biggest one is our top 25 destinations for every region that gets branded and marketed and promoted in all the different forums where meetings and events industry professionals are there, along with personalized messaging going to the buyers who are interested in coming to the destination. So today, a planner sitting in Mexico can get a list of these top 25 destinations in APAC, and can decide that where they want to plan an event in APAC, because obviously if they have never visited, they just don't know where to go. So we take this as our responsibility that as an organization, it's our job to make sure we do fair, information distribution to our buyers. So that's a balanced approach. But yes, but with AI search algorithm, if a planner is searching for a specific hotel, they would only see that, because we also don't want to interrupt the planner experience in the overall journey. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Nana. So with that, the we will share the IDs, email IDs of everybody in the session, and they will share any one-on-one questions if they have.
Yeah, I think on that note, I would just like to close it because we have a very healthy attendance as well in this session. That Cvent has launched a lot of new AI features. So if you're a hotelier, it's in your best interest to get in touch with the account manager and just understand that what all these capabilities can bring dynamic changes to how you operate at Cvent. And we'd be more than happy to give you a walkthrough. And obviously, all I hope the takeaways and the best practices that we shared today will help you in operating better. And we look forward to having another session in next 3 months.